Come along with the Mid-America Bigfoot Research Center as we break down and show the anatomy of an expedition. We will share with you some of our proven protocols, strategies, and show how a well-thought-out plan can bring success to your outings when researchers mesh together.
The MABRC held its annual Memorial Day weekend expedition in eastern Oklahoma. This site location has held a long history of encounters, audio and thermal evidence, and more. This has been an active research area for the MABRC for well over 10 years.
In the thermal footage that has been collected in the past, we do believe that it was a Bigfoot that was watching our camp. We believe this because unlike your normal animals such as possum, armadillo, raccoon, deer, and such, they're constantly moving around and are easily identifiable, but it is suspicious behavior when you have a heat signature that is not exposing its whole body, using natural cover to conceal itself, and moving very little while maintaining a respectable distance from camp.
With the vastness of the forest, terrain, and waterways, our objective was to hone in where the Bigfoot might be bedding down during the day.
We had planned our strategies according to the diverse talents of those members attending and the equipment they had at their disposal.
The first order of business after setting up camp was to set out our drop boxes and parabolics in different sectors of our research area to collect audio to be reviewed at a later date. Captured audio of possible Bigfoot activity is stored in our database for future reference and strategy considerations on upcoming outings.
On our first full day, we scouted the trails and creek beds for signs. One of our goals was where we found signs such as possible markers and tallboy trails was to mark them using the satellite coordinates so we could drop off listening post teams later on that night.
One of our protocols while being in the field, whether using utility vehicles or hiking, is that whoever is in the lead has a GoPro camera filming and the rear of our party has a camera on their back. During nighttime ops, we use thermals. Most Bigfoot sightings are 8 seconds or less and are unexpected, such as someone driving at night going around a curve and catch one darting in their headlight beams in front of them. If you are going to go through the trouble to research, why not be prepared and have cameras rolling?
That's right, Mark. That's the difference between a cool story to tell and having documented evidence.
Out here in Oklahoma, we've had a good time squatching with about 15 folks with the MABRC. Last night we went out and we set up teams of 2 about every 1,000 feet along the trail so that we could hopefully get something that might come across and one of the teams could catch it. And we were spread out in about a mile difference, and Lauren and I from Night Callers were a team, and we worked. We had a FLIR, and we were listening with audio, and Lauren did spot something on the FLIR, and I'll let her tell about it.
All right, so I was just scanning and spotted something down to the left. So I stepped up and was just tracking it, and about the time I was about to say something loud crashed near me to my right, and it sounded like something heavier than an acorn, it's probably a rock, and it crashed and bounced, and I backed up and, hollered at Mark to see if he heard that. About the time I look over with the FLIR, there was nothing there that I was tracking, everything was gone. So I don't know if it was a distraction. It worked. And then we heard some other just hesitant, slow stepping, soft stepping through the woods, just intermittent for a little bit, and then nothing else walks up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. But it's been a lot of fun.
it's been a lot of fun.
Having 2 drones at camp gave us the advantage of an aerial platform into parts of the valley without being intrusive to where we felt like the Bigfoot might be bedding down during the day. One very cool trick that we've implemented is pre-programming waypoints for the drone to fly. Having the drone fly with the sun at its back reduces glare on the camera lens, and being able to change the altitude according to the terrain elevations gives us efficient use of our battery life to cover more ground. Just as you may want a camera on your back, so if a Bigfoot pokes his head out after you pass by, we also use that strategy with the drone.
If you have a good eye for the not so obvious possible evidence and the aptitude to think outside the box, such as Jackie and James did, this really complements any field research team.
Anyway, when we originally found this rock yesterday, it had this one little rock on it that we'd never touched. We left it as it was. I stacked the big rock and the little rock beside it, and we left. And now it's been, how long's it been, Jack? It's yesterday afternoon. This is what was. It's almost 24 hours. We come back, and now this rock has been added. And I don't know.
It looks like a cave.
Now I would like to change this again, Mark.
You could spin the rock
Just
like
just,
how it's 12
all
o'clock,
right, change
and
it
then
to
turn
about
it to
1.
3 or something like that.
I think I just changed it, maybe just to. I stand here, I get square with this big square rock. Just take it. Yeah, it's about 45 degrees to the other one. There's been several other people through this weekend. I don't know what it is. It's kinda cool. So we'll come back later this evening and see if it changes again. Who knows? Might be something cool.
That's Kitten.
Huh?
That's Kitten.
Well, that one jumped up there by all by itself.
What did
It
it?
wasn't there yesterday.
There, somebody put it there.
Oh, that's a good point. Somebody put it there. There you go.
And it would take hands.
It would take hands.
We've been on a go stop out here, and I mean we are in the middle of nowhere. We have basically been blazing our own trail in here. We're having some movement right now over in here. We've seen a possum come through. We've seen a deer, and I had a bird fly straight into my chest. And I'm going to tell you, that's not for the weak at heart. But we hear the four-wheelers coming back here to pick us up. We've been out here about an hour, and we're going to try to match up some of the FLIR footage along with the audio. But it's pretty cool just to come out here in the middle of nowhere. Randy's been with me. He's been a fantastic research partner out here. Randy, why don't you just kind of pan around and kind of show these deep woods we're in. So, we're waiting on our ride, and we'll see what happens. See if our partners heard anything. We'll catch you later.
gone though now. He said, I can't find him, I'm gone. Hey, look at it. Bird doing that at midnight. Oh, no. He sure hit me in the chest. He hit you in the chest, dude? Yeah. Man, I like the cop that he hit me in the chest.
There were some peculiar occurrences that was heard at night, such as odd vocalizations and what sounded like something heavy walking on the gravel in the wee morning hours. Also, when about half the researchers left for a night recon and the other half went to bed, there was rocks being thrown at one of the tents. Chickfeed said that she had no more than turned off her light and zipped up her sleeping bag, and she heard the rocks smacking the gravel bar around her tent. We suspect, since her tent was nearest to the creek, that it was coming from the top of the berm on the island overlooking her tent. Here is a trimmed audio clip of a few of the rocks hitting the gravel.
On our last night, we chose to stay in the vicinity of camp for our night ops. Our thought process was that maybe we could draw the Bigfoot closer to camp, and we came up with a two-phase plan. Phase 1, Rebelson would take Rebelistic and Dixie down in the valley for them to make some calls towards an inaccessible and obscure part of the valley. On their return, we began Phase 2 with Darkwing, Rebelson, and Jackwagon loading up Tater, Dixie, Chickfeed, Sassy Squatch, Squatchbait, and Sawdust in the utility vehicles and taking them to an area in the woods that opened up to a small overgrown field.
In the shadows of the trees near the woodline, we set up our chairs in a circle where everyone was facing a different direction to monitor for any movement. We had 4 recorders recording, 2 parabolics, 2 FLIRs, and 1 Generation 1 night vision in our arsenal. Within 3 minutes of being dropped off, the first vocalization was captured with a response howl that was closer to our position, and then a more intense scream was vocalized. 2 minutes later, a possible whoop was heard. Up for your consideration is the audio that was captured along with the spectrogram.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah? You want to do it? No, wait a minute.
We waited and listened for 15 minutes before Chickfeed shrieked out a call. In this clip, you will be able to see the band frequency signature differences between human, canine, and what we believe is a Bigfoot. This is how, when analyzing audio, we discern and identify what species of animal did the vocalization. The spectrogram takes the guesswork out whether it was a coyote, another researcher, or even a hoaxer that made the call. If you are wearing headphones, you may want to pull them away from your ears some, because Chickfeed, the Bigfoot whisperer, can really wail. Just saying.
It wasn't. What? That was the Bigfoot in over the cave.
The MABRC hopes this video has been informative, enjoyable to watch, and we wish you much success in your endeavors.
If you are interested in joining a family-friendly group that does not charge a membership or expedition fee, then the MABRC may be the organization for you. We are a flesh and blood group that gathers evidence using technology and scientific-based protocols since 1998.
Our analysts are reviewing over 600 hours of audio and 100 plus hours of thermal and GoPro footage. Visit us at www.mabrc.com for evidence updates or check us out on Facebook. Thanks for watching.